All right, guys, today I want to tell you about our first experience raising baby rabbits. A while back, we bought a black rabbit from the pet store, and he ended up getting out of his cage and took off, and we didn't see him for months and months. Then we noticed a couple white rabbits out in the yard. Some neighbors had turned them loose because they didn't want them anymore. Very irresponsible. But anyway, I ended up catching those two white rabbits. And it turned out one of them was a male and one of them was a female. So we separated them. And we had the female out in the yard one day in a cage. And I come walking outside and there was the black rabbit had showed up trying to see what the female was into. So I ended up catching our old black rabbit back. We ended up breeding the black rabbit and the white rabbit, hoping that we would get some unique color combinations. But it turned out that the white rabbit's genetics shine through, and we got a couple white rabbits and a couple with some black spots. Like her, she had some black spots too. Anyway, we raised the babies all the way up until they were 8 weeks old, I think, and then we ended up selling them to a local store that sells rabbits, and they found good homes for them. So this is the story. Stay tuned. So this is our male rabbit, or the buck as they call it, that we bred the female with. And after a month, the female had her babies. This is the nesting box that I put together, and she's actively having her babies currently in the box. She ended up having 4 babies, and we were a little surprised by that. We had heard that rabbits can have quite a few more than that, but we were happy for the ones we got. They started off completely hairless, but within a few days they started growing a little fuzz on their body. Of course, the mother rabbit will pull hair out of her belly and put it in the nest to make a nest. And that hair insulates and keeps the babies warm. But the babies all huddle together in the bottom, and their body heat keeps each other nice and toasty. So the kids were just completely taken by them. And the hair grew quickly. Some of them were completely white, and others had black dots. So the mother's genetics really poked through on this one. I figured we'd get a couple of them that were darker colored like the father, but that wasn't the case. Within about a week, they put on a full coat of hair and their eyes started to open, like I say, in about a week's time frame. So things progressed pretty quickly, and let me tell you, the cuteness level increased rapidly. And these things just got cuter and cuter as they went. Here they are, a little bit over a week, and they're starting to really cruise around and explore their area. But they're still huddling in the nest pretty much all the time. Now this is about 16 days after they were born, and they're starting to come out of their box and kind of pick around at adult food. And they get a little spooky too. But you can see they're still nursing on the mother. They go back, lay on their back, and stick their feet up. Cutest little thing you ever seen. And the mother would just stomp them as she exited and entered. Of course, they're resilient. They can take her body weight, and they seem to do all right. She was actively trying to wean the rabbits at this point, And while she was eating, she would pay little attention to them trying to nurse, so they could kind of get in there and nurse a little bit, but she wouldn't hang out for long and keep nursing on them. And you can see there we got one of them that's starting to pick at grass and starting to learn how to do it. So it wasn't very long after this that she got them all weaned and eating grass just like her. At this point, they were all pretty much weaned and eating grass and nibbling on pellets. I was a little concerned that they weren't figuring out how to drink water because we had a water container on the side of the cage, and I didn't know, them being so small that they might not be able to reach it. Unfortunately, the mother started showing some health issues and started having diarrhea, which is not good for a rabbit. And I started getting her some medications and probiotics and trying to get her back on the right track. But unfortunately, one day I found her dead in a cage. And it was right before this video here. So at this point, the mother has passed away. Thank goodness she got them weaned before she passed away. I'm still not sure what she passed away of. I honestly, since we caught the rabbits out in the yard, I don't know how old they were before we got them. So maybe it was just an age thing. But at least she got to experience having babies, and that seemed to be something she was wanting to do because she tried to make nests and things before she had them. And so I'm glad she got to experience that. Now this here, I had found some baby rabbits out in the yard when I was mowing. And whenever I mowed over their nest, they scattered and ran all over the yard. Luckily, I didn't run over any with the mower, but they were still too young to eat grass and stuff. And I knew the mother was probably not going to come back and find all of them scattered, so I threw them in here with the baby rabbits we had, and they went together seamlessly. They didn't have any problem adapting. And over the course of a couple days of the wild rabbits watching our baby rabbits, they started to learn how to eat by watching them. So it was a good experience, and it worked out real well. As soon as they were eating on their own and able to move pretty fast and whatnot, I was able to release them back into the wild. You see one tucked away there in amongst ours. So worked out pretty good. Now our rabbits were starting to get some pretty good size on them, and we knew we couldn't keep all four of the babies. We didn't have enough cage space. You can see here, they're kind of laying back. So we took them to a local store that sells rabbits and sold them to the store so that they could find good homes for them. And this is them at the store. And they ended up selling 2 of them pretty quick. And then these 2 here kind of hung on the longest, but they weren't there for more than 5 days, and they were sold also. All right, guys, so that was our first experience raising baby rabbits. Since then, we've raised another, I don't know what you call it, a clutch for baby rabbits. But anyway, we had 8 from a brown rabbit that we bought here recently. And they're still probably 6 weeks old. And so once they meet the requirements to go to the local store, we'll be taking them down there too. Right now they're cute as a button, and I plan to make a video about raising them also, just to show you guys what's going on. Since then, we've bred the female rabbit again, and we tried breeding her with the black rabbit this time. and we're gonna see what kind of combinations we get there. So she's currently pregnant, and she'll be having her babies in about a week, I think. So we'll see where that goes too. So, all right, guys, if you enjoyed this kind of thing and you stuck around to the end, you must like my videos. Consider subscribing. Hitting the like button really helps push my videos out there to other people. I try my hardest to make quality videos. I put a lot of effort into my stuff. So if you appreciate that kind of stuff, help me out. All right, thanks a lot. See you guys later.